Hello, my dear friends. This particular blog I want to make in English. Ratan Naval Tata was born in 28th December 1937 and he breathed his last in Mumbai on 9th October 2024. Ratan Tata, in his own words, I had a happy childhood, but as my brother and I got older, we faced ragging because of our parents' divorce, which in those days wasn't as common. My grandmom brought us up. Soon after, when my mother remarried, the boys at school started saying all kinds of things about us, but our grandmother taught us to retain dignity at all costs, a value that's always stayed with me. It involved walking away from these situations instead of fighting back. And if it weren't for my grandmom, I wouldn't be half the person I am today. My father and I couldn't agree on the same thing. I wanted to go to college in the US. He insisted on UK. I wanted to be an architect. He insisted on me becoming an engineer. If it weren't for my grandmother, I wouldn't have ended up at Cornell University in the US. It was because of her that even though I enrolled for mechanical engineering, I switched majors and graduated with a degree in architecture. My father was upset, but I was finally my own independent person in college, and it was my grandmother who taught me that courage to speak up can also be soft. After college, I landed a job at an architecture firm in LA, Los Angeles, where I worked for 2 years. It was a great time. The weather was beautiful and I loved my job. It was in LA that I fell in love and almost got married. But at the same time, I had made the decision to move back at least temporarily since grandmom wasn't keeping too well. So I came back to visit her and thought that the person I wanted to marry would come to India with me. But because of the 1962 Indo China War, her parents weren't okay with her making the move anymore and the relationship fell apart. After the move, I did spend some time with my grandmom. I would run with my dog, catch up with her, and we would have long chats. I'm glad I got that time with her before she passed because right after I moved to Jamshedpur for an internship at what's known as Tata Motors now. It was a waste of time. I was moved from one department to another, and since I was a family member, no one told me what to do. I spent 6 months trying to be useful. It was only after I moved to Tata Steel that I got specific work and my job got interesting. I started from the floor and understood the plight of those working there. So years later, when we downsized Tata Steel from 78,000 to 40,000, we ensured to pay them their present day wages until retirement. It's been in our DNA to serve those who serve us. Then in 1991, JRD stepped down as the chairman of Tata Industries, and then from Tata Sons, there was vicious criticism. There were other aspirants who were vocal of him having made the wrong decision. I had been through this before, so I did what I knew best, maintained silence and focused on proving myself. The criticism was personal. JRD got clubbed with nepotism, and I, as the wrong choice, I was under scrutiny, but the time I spent on the floor served as a big plus. I hadn't gotten there from nowhere. All in all, it was a big move. I remember after I was appointed chairman, I walked with JRD to his office where he told his secretary that he had to move out. I said, "No, Jay, don't move out. This is your office for as long as you want." He said, "Where will you sit?" I said, "Where I'm sitting today. I have an office down the hall and that's fine." I was lucky to have him there. He was my greatest mentor and the years that he was alive. I used to go to his office and say, "Jay, I wish this had happened 10 years ago." We have such a great relationship. He was like a father and a brother to me, and not enough's been said about that. Ever since, my life has been for and about growing the company. When I was appointed chairman, it was believed my surname got me the position, but my focus was on creating something bigger than us all. and on giving back, which has been in the Tata DNA since the start. With Jamshedpur, for instance, while our workers were thriving, the surrounding villages were suffering. It became our goal to uplift their quality of life as well. Things like these came naturally to us. Even with the Nano, I remember seeing a family of four on a bike in the heavy Bombay rain. I wanted to do more for these families who were risking their lives for a lack of an alternative. By the time we launched the Nano, our costs were higher, but I had made a promise and we delivered. Looking back, I'm proud of the car and the decision to go ahead with it. That's what my life has been about. Work became a lifestyle. I was always at Bombay House or traveling. That's why, even though I came close to marriage with two, three different partners, I couldn't go through with it because they had have to adjust to my lifestyle, and that didn't sit right with me. Now that I'm retired, that lifestyle has changed again. People ask me if I'm truly retired, and to that I say there is no doubt about it. I'm enjoying the separation from the company. I don't look at newspapers and worry about the bad stuff anymore. But let me tell you, retirement isn't about playing golf or reading on a beach whilst sipping on a cocktail. In fact, never before has the urge to do more been greater. From affordable cancer treatment to making the lives in rural India easier, I'm looking forward to making it happen at the Tata Trust. I'm trying to enjoy myself, to be honest. I'm spending time with friends, old and new, across age groups, who I am constantly learning from. At 82, I'm still learning. So when you ask me to give advice, I feel like the right advice changes over a period of time. But the one thing that remains unchanged is the desire to do the right thing. So I will say this: leave the advice and do the right thing, even if it isn't the easiest thing to do. When you look back at your life, that's what going to matter the most: doing the right thing. Hashtag Ratan Tata.